Good morning.
Good morning,
Good morning.
everyone.
I hope I'm not too early. Everybody made it here okay, and we're all on time okay. Then let's get started. Do you want to stand up and sing with us? This is a new song, so we're all going to be learning it together, okay? But it's pretty easy, so you can get it, okay?
So I'm going to sing the first part, and it's just like the second part, so you'll hear.
Second verse, same as the first.
Yes. Rise up, oh my soul. Rise up, oh my soul. Rise up, oh my soul. Let spirit flow. Rise up, oh my soul. Rise up, oh my soul. Show me the kingdom wherever I go. 2, 3, 4. Rise up, oh my soul. Rise up, oh my soul. Rise up, oh my soul. Let spirit flow. Rise up, oh my soul. Rise up, oh my soul. Show me the kingdom wherever I go. Heal the sick anywhere I walk. Beat my tongue anytime I talk. Help people love God. Make them stronger with every word. And help them see that heaven is all around. Fill my heart with the courage to play. Free my mind from yesterday. Tell people what's true. Let me know what's mine to do. And help me do it each and every day. Everyone,
Here we go.
Rise up, oh my soul. Rise up, oh my soul. Rise up, oh my soul. Let spirit flow. Rise up, oh my soul. Rise up, oh my soul. Show me the kingdom wherever I go. Show me the kingdom wherever I go.
Good morning. Welcome, welcome.
Buongiorno. Benvenuto. La pace sia con te. That's the end of my challenge. Peace be with you. Wow, what can I say? What a week, what an adventure we had. And Friday I was watching the service from last week, and I'm very impressed. I was very impressed with Judy and Therese. And, you know, I kind of got the feeling, hey, they're kind of paying attention a little bit. Because we come here to grow, to unfold spiritually. That's why we're here. And I can see that, early on I said one of my goals was to bring us all into a relatively same kind of mindset, so that it's like tuning up the orchestra, in other words, so that when we are playing on the same, frequency, so to speak, and so that we can, relate to what we were doing. And this trip to Italy that I just had, I've never been to Italy, I've never been to Europe, was very interesting. And to go back to the motherland of my Catholic upbringing was very interesting also in so many ways. And just, it was just amazing. The churches, I mean, like, wow, this crazy. But I'm so glad to be back here with you, this very special group. And it's getting more and more special all the time is how I see it. Because we are really coming together in a certain spiritual vibration that's really beginning to work, I feel. And I think you feel it as well. So glad to be back, so to share our Sunday morning spiritual experience. And what we do on Sunday mornings is we come together as an orchestra, as individual players within an orchestra, and we all play we have a vibration that we're putting out. And we take that vibration that we have collected as individuals and we bring it together into a new sound that we cannot create individually. We can only create it as a group. And it gives us the opportunity during this time together on Sunday mornings to create that bigger energy and just, be in that energy, the spiritual hot tub, as I say, that we get to be in there. And we do so by doing things together. We sing together, we laugh together, we learn together, we pray together, we affirm together. We do all these things. And this week, I had and I'm going to talk about that later, but I just want to give you a hint. I had a plan for this week, and the plan changed when I went to Italy this week. And because I got to see the Last Supper, and I got a new perspective that I did not have after all these years, even being a Catholic and stuff. Never had that perspective, and I said, I need to share this way of looking at this magnificent painting with you guys. And so that's what I'm going to do today. And I don't know if you are aware of this perspective or not. And if you are, well, it'll be a nice, just gentle reminder. And if it's new to you, like it was new to me, then it'll be an interesting little discovery. I say, wow, I never looked at that painting that way before. And it'll, you know what? I forgot my hat. I had bought a hat because I have told you in the past that we're always changing. That's one of our, keys here is to keep changing and unfolding. And I've said before that when the person that walks into this room in the morning is not the same person that's going to walk out when we leave today, because you will have grown spiritually, you have learned something, we have changed. So we had a big joke going on over there in Italy with the kids. Because I went to Italy as Tommy or Tomas, and I came back as Tommaso. And I bought me a little hat, and I was Tommaso. I took on a whole other character when I was there. And Marisa and Omar, my son-in-law and my daughter, there, and Tommaso's got this energy about him and stuff, So we had a blast. I got to ride on a high-speed train. I'd never done that. I read about it, and it said that we were doing that it would do like 125, and I was looking, and I said, it doesn't look like 125 to me. So I noticed there's a little screen up there, and it says 300 kilometers per hour. 186 miles an hour. And if you look out the window, it's going, so, woof, we are moving. It's interesting. And in Italy also they had all the public buses were all 100% electric. All of them. I said, where are we? We need to get caught up in this stuff. But it was really interesting, but we're going to talk more about that later. For now, I invite you to join us in our mission statement. We are a thriving spiritual community, inspiring and empowering individual global transformation as exemplified by the life and the teachings of Jesus and other spiritual masters. Our announcements.
Is it on? Can you hear me? Well, welcome everybody and welcome back. Oh my gosh, the energy he has brought back from Italy. Well, if any of you have ever been to Italy, it's just the most, and I'm sure many of you have, it's the most incredible country that just brings you alive. It's so spiritual, especially Rome, but it is just so life. It's just so life. But anyway, welcome back, you two. I know you had a wonderful time. If you are here for the first time, we would like to give you a special welcome. And we invite you to stand and tell us your name if you're comfortable doing so. Any new people? Oh, yes.
Whoa.
Oh.
Welcome.
Welcome, welcome. Well, thank you for being here. And our usher is going right now to give you a packet of information. And in it, it has a card that if you would like to fill out, please do so and leave it in the collection box or on that table as you leave. And now for the announcements. Let's Get Metaphysical is going to be at Legacy Hills Park this coming Wednesday at 10 a.m., weather permitting. And Reverend Tommy, since he is back, obviously, he's going to be co-manning the ship with Rita. Please see either one of them with any questions you might have about how to get on the email if you're not getting it. We have a source for name tags in Sun City. And for those of you who would like a name tag that looks like this, I hope, it's on the thing, there's a link in Friday's newsletter, and you can email admin or email Carrie, and we can forward that to you if you haven't seen it. Our Friday newsletter keeps everyone in the know about what's going on here in our church. If you're not receiving it, and I've heard from a couple of people who are not receiving it, please contact Carrie and she will help you. She will help you get back on the mailing list. If you have any questions, see Reverend Tommy, a board member or one of our prayer chaplains. Stop at the table about the newsletter or anything. And before we continue our service, we have a special announcement from Therese.
Good morning. Actually, we have a couple of announcements. First, I just want to give everybody a heads up that our admin, Carrie, will be going on a very well-deserved vacation next week. So in her absence, the B team will be trying to do her job for her. So I'm hoping you'll give us a little grace, but we have been trained, and we will be putting out the newsletter, the order of service, and if you have questions or need something that you would normally ask Carrie for, just send it to the admin, and we will do our very best to accommodate it. And have a wonderful vacation, Carrie. Yeah. And then I also wanted to mention that yesterday was our second Community Connections gatherings, and I want to send a thank you out to all of our wonderful hosts, Claudia, Jim, and Grace, Bonnie Bartman, Renee Barnes, Sandy Moore, and Jill Cook. And thank you all the feedback. I personally attended Claudia and Jim and Grace's gathering, which was absolutely wonderful. Had a great time, good food, adorable puppies to pet. But all the feedback that I've gotten from everyone has been very, very positive. So thank you all for supporting, and let's keep whatever sparks started at the gatherings. Some curiosity about someone you met and talked to. Let's keep that going, and we'll do this again in a couple months. All right, today is the third Sunday of the month, and this is normally the Sunday we would call Volunteer Appreciation. And when I was trying to think of the next wonderful volunteer to honor, I realized that there are people who don't really fit into that category of quote-unquote current volunteers, but who also play a really important part in helping to keep our spiritual community thriving. And so I thought we would broaden our perspective a little bit, kind of change the way we see things, which is what we do here, and start calling this Love in Action Sunday. And this will be a day when we honor both our wonderful volunteers and also the other special people who serve in their own way. And so starting us off today, that special person is Ellis Gardner.
Yeah.
Where is she? Alice. She's not going to stand up. Alice is a world traveler, and so she's gone a lot. So she can't always serve in a regular volunteer position, but she always stays connected to her Unity Georgetown family. She's a founding member, and she's supported our spiritual center in various ways and its mission right from the beginning. She was also a leader in our campaign to bring Reverend Tommy and Rosemary home, and they literally would not be here without her. She's a beloved friend, she's a role model for living in spiritual principles, and she's truly a pillar of our community, and we're so grateful for you, Ellis, wherever you're hiding.
She's over there.
Oh, there she is, Ellis. So let's show Alice our appreciation by giving her our unity blessing together.
We
Alice, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divinity in you.
Well, we like to start with a little bit of humor, and I'm running out of jokes, so Dan has volunteered to help us out today. Get us our spirit, opening the door to our spirit.
Okay, so these two Catholic priests had, like Carrie, a well-earned vacation coming up, and they decided to go to Hawaii, and they agreed on the way over that they wanted this to be a true vacation from work, and they didn't want anyone to have any inkling that they were priests, and so they were going to dress up like tourists. And so they get off the plane and they go to this little shop and they buy these ridiculous Bermuda shorts and these wild flower print shirts and some sunglasses. And next morning they head to the beach and they're lying there in the sand and watching people go by, and here comes a voluptuous blonde in a bikini. And she just walks kind of up to them and looks at them and says, "Good morning, Father. Good morning, Father," and then walks away. They're just bumfuzzled. They don't know what to think, and they think, I guess we need to disguise ourselves even better. They go back to this boutique and they buy even wilder Bermuda shorts and sandals and wilder printed shirts, get some straw hats, back to the beach the next morning. They look up, here comes the same woman. Now she's in a string bikini, and their eyes are kind of starting to pop out a little bit, and she walks up, she says, "Good morning, Father. Good morning, Father." And she starts to walk away, and one of them says, "Wait a minute. How in the world do you know that we are priests?" And she looks, she says, "Oh, Father, it's me, Sister Angela."
Oh, my God. Let's rise and continue our service.
Come and stand up with us and sing this song. I'm sure you guys know this, right?
Be like the little children.
That's right.
I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart to stay. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Spirit in my heart. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Spirit in my heart. I've got the love of Spirit down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. I've got the love of Spirit down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Spirit in my heart. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Spirit in my heart. I've got the peace that passes understanding down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. I've got the peace that passes understanding down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart to stay. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Spirit in my heart. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of Spirit in my heart.
Wow, now that we're all feeling that joy, let us go into a little bit of peace, knowing that it is now the beginning of the service with the ringing of the triangle. So let us bring our hearts and our minds together as one, knowing that God is in this very present moment and is so happy to see us in this joy, the way we're supposed to live in joy and happiness. So let us begin our service.
Today's daily word is protection. When I look out at the world, I may perceive genuine dangers. I may even tell myself that life is scary and painful events of life are inevitable. Yet I know in my heart, regardless of conditions, I am always protected by the level of Spirit. The psalmist said, God would walk with me in the valleys of shadow, not that deep places do not exist. Today I take refuge, knowing my footing is secure and my future is as bright as the promises of God. I accept the joys and challenges of daily living. I trust that my feet will find a safe path through any difficulties. I live my faith in God, secure in the belief that I will never walk alone. Please read the affirmation with me twice. The stability of God's protection steadies me in an unsteady world. The stability of God's protection steadies me in an unsteady world.
Statement being Flavia? Yeah.
Would you please join me in affirming together our statement of being and our vision statement? There is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotence. Centered in oneness, we co-create a world of love, peace, and abundance.
Pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, sing your song in me. Sing your song into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Sing your song in me. Sing your song into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Pour your joy in me. Pour your joy into my heart. Wonderful Spirit, pour your joy in me. Pour your joy in me. Pour your joy into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit. And dance and smile with me. Dance and smile into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Dance and smile. Dance and smile in me. Dance and smile into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Shine your light in me. Shine your light in me. Shine your light into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Shine your light in me. Shine your light in me. Shine your light into my heart. Wonderful Spirit, pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Oh, wonderful Spirit.
Thank you so much. We are so grateful and so lucky to have a wonderful music team that supports us and lifts us and creates that wonderful vibration of love. Today, the wisdom of the world is based on the painting of the Last Supper. The beautiful paintings of the Last Supper are at first sight a depiction of the last meal shared by Jesus and his disciples. It was a significant event with multifaceted meanings. When we take the time to contemplate the deeper meaning, we open our minds and hearts to a new perspective. Marcel Proust reminds us the real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes. Anthony de Saint-Exupéry explains, it is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. And according to Lao Tzu, from the Tao Te Ching, to the mind that is still, the whole world surrenders.
Open my eyes that I may see glimpses of truth thou hast for me. Place in my hands the wonderful key that shall unclasp and set me free. Silently now I wait for thee. Ready, my God, thy will to see. Open my eyes, illumine me. Spirit divine, open my ears that I may hear voices of truth thou sendest clear. And while the wave notes fall on my ear, everything false will disappear. Silently now I wait for thee. Ready, my God, thy will to see. Open my ears, illumine me. Spirit divine, open my mouth and let me bear gladly the warm truth everywhere. Open my heart and let me prepare love with thy children thus to share. Silently now I wait for thee. Ready, my God, thy will to see. Open my heart, illumine me. Spirit divine.
Thank you, Dan. As we go into this morning's prayer, let the words of that song really sink in. Before you awake in the morning, before you open your eyes, say a prayer that thy will be done this day. Let my heart open to the love that is present in every moment. What I am meant to see, let me see. What I am meant to hear, let me hear. What I am meant to say, let me always say it with kindness. What I am meant to know, open my mind. What I am meant to feel, let me feel it with every cell of my body. What I am meant to do, that is mine to do, let me surrender and move forward, knowing that my purpose is being filled. And now, let us go into a 2-minute meditation. Think about the words of that song. Think about the prayer. Remember those who need extra help this morning. We know that as they are in our minds, that they are already those prayers are being received. So now we go into meditation and Dan will bring us back with his beautiful music.
You've got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. And people gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful. Yeah, beautiful as you feel.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Donna Sue. We really are blessed to have all these people, not the team, but all of you and all our prayer chaplains. It's a wonderful group that we have here. La Ultima Cena, the Last Supper. So I just, guys, I said, we came back from the incredible journey of a lifetime, and we have talked about going to Italy in the past, but in all probabilities, it probably wasn't going to happen. And the reason it did happen, because you know, our daughter spoke at the World Congress of Music Therapy in Bologna, and she did a presentation. She was one of the workshop, that did, and it was really nice. We went to it, and it was just fascinating, the whole thing. And at this point in my life, because of the lens through which I am seeing things, everything I hear and everything I see is a fascinating wonder to me. It just is. And that certainly was true of the last 10 days. So much so that I changed direction about what I was going to talk about this week. And let's get caught up with that, because I'll start with telling you what I was going to talk about and why. And then we'll go on to the change of direction that in BPP terms, by the way, still is the same general directions, just a little side thing here. And that connects us very nicely to Judy and Teresa's lesson last week about bringing the BPP, the big picture perspective, down to earth. Because really that's the topic of everything, connecting our divinity with our humanity. That's the whole deal. And the Lord's Supper really is reflective. The Last Supper is reflective of that. So all this is coming together, as I said, into a focal point at Unity Georgetown. And it's happening at a deeper level because of our openness to allow Spirit to guide us. And I'm feeling that guidance more and more all the time. And last Sunday, I was sitting there at the Airbnb, and I was looking at the daily word from last Sunday, and it was guidance. And I said, yeah. All these little things that are guiding us because we are open to it. And if you're open to it, then it will guide you. So let's get going. So I have been talking a lot. We've been spending a lot of time in what I've been calling the deep waters. But they've been deep waters of new of new subjects, of new ideas. And that has caused us to create, to have more colors in our spiritual color palette. And I think it's been very beneficial to us. But we say and we affirm that we honor all paths to spirit, and we do, because we understand that all paths have their deep waters. They all do. It's not about their depth, it's about our depth. What do we see in everything? And so what I wanted to do then was, because we have been spending all this time in the deep waters of new ideas, I wanted to spend some deep water time in familiar areas. So I was going to talk about something very interesting, which is the Beatitudes, the words of the Master. As we call them in Unity, the Be-attitudes, the attitudes of being. And so going to Italy, the motherland, as I said earlier, of my Catholic upbringing, it was a great time to look into this perspective from a different way. So I had a plan. I sent Gary the blurb and everything. This is the blurb for next week, Gary. And I got to Italy, and the plan changed. I said, Gary, forget it. We're starting all over. So, and I want to say thank you to Marisa, because if it hadn't been for her, we probably wouldn't have done that. And I think she's listening online, because we kind of put this lesson, all of us together, because we all had the same reaction to it. So our journey began in Milan. And there's a lot of great things to see in Milan. There is the Galleria. There is the Navigli district. It's kind of basically the Riverwalk on steroids, you know. There's this Sforza Castle, huge castle in the middle of town. We walked through it. And the gigantic Duomo. The Duomo is that big church. And I remember in February, Mike Tirico, because of the Olympics, Mike Tirico was standing next to that, and he said, man, look at this magnificent building. And I didn't realize that I'd be in it in a few months or whatever. But it's a magnificent big church in the middle of town. But of all the things to see in Milano, the one thing to see is the Last Supper. But for starters, I didn't realize that's a picture that I took with my phone. For starters, I did not realize this thing is 15 by 27 feet. It is a mural on a wall. And it is at the wall of the refectory. I learned a new word. I said, what's a refectory? A refectory is a dining area in a monastery or such a place. Of the convent of Santa Maria della Grazie. And it's a monastery for Dominican friars. Unfortunately, we couldn't find any tickets, because unless you have planned in advance, you're not going to get tickets to see the Last Supper, we found out. But, you know, since all things are possible with God and Marisa, she got on her laptop when we got back to the room, and she started looking around and said, Dad, I found a tour that's available. They got 4 openings. I guess somebody canceled. So we jumped on it. Let's go. I mean, for sure. And that changed the direction of my talk for this week. And you talk about changing the way we see things, or I see things. I have seen this painting, and maybe you too, 1,000 times if I've seen it once. But this is the first time that I saw it this way. And first of all, I want to say that the viewings are very controlled. There's only 40 people at a time can get in, and you got 15 minutes, and you're out of there. And then they I don't know what they do to the air conditioner, but they kind of refresh everything, because they really have it controlled, the humidity and everything in the room, because it's been around for a while. It's been restored like 11 times, but it's been around since the 1500s or so, whatever it was. And so when we walked in, we all had a certain feeling of reverence, of knowing that I'm about to see something very special, you know. And interestingly, the second I walked in, I hit my phone to turn on my camera, and the time was there. And it said 3:16. And I said, 3:16? Like John 3:16? So God so loved the world? And that's what thought that came to my mind. I said, wow, what is this about? And then I thought, well, it's a good thing that I have a BPP unity understanding of what that verse really, really means. And so I was cool with it and everything. So before the tour, the Last Supper was a painting, one of several. Here's a couple. There's one there, and there's one there that exists, and there are others. But after the tour, it became something different. It became what Leonardo intended it to be. It became a moment in time captured on the wall of this building, seen through the metaphysical lens of the man simply known as Leonardo. What none of us realized was, or considered, was that the painting captures the dramatic moment when Jesus announces to his disciples, "Tonight, one of you will betray me." Leonardo showcases the range of emotional reactions and gestures of that moment in this masterful composition. Now when I see it, I can see that, that what? Surely not I, my Lord. Look in their faces. But neither Rosemary nor I, nor Marisa or Omar had ever heard this way of looking at it. Marisa looked it up, and evidently the art world does realize that that's what it represents. But we, in spiritual traditions, are never really taught a whole lot of in-depth stuff, so I never had that view of it. And so if you knew it, that's great. Like, as I said earlier, it'll be a review, and if it's not, then it'll be some interesting new way to look at the Last Supper. So let's begin with a general composition. Throughout the painting, and I picked another version of it that's more colorful so you can see some of the details. The general composition is Leonardo is always seeking balance, and it's that balance between heaven and earth. So he starts by contrasting the stirring outer reaction of that moment to the ever stillness by showing an image of a tranquil lake in the background. That one doesn't show the lake, mine, the original does. And our tour guide said that they believe that he put the lake in there as a reference to what's called Lake Como that's nearby Milan. And he wanted to make that connection to of the painting to the Milan area because he spent 20 years in Milan, Leonardo did. So next, he notes that unlike the other painting, no one is wearing a halo. No one, not even Jesus in this. He gets the closest to it, though, because he is sitting right in the center of this sky-lit background, and it frames his head like a halo effect. Then we move on to the seating arrangements. Notice that Leonardo places the disciples 4 groups of 3. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so we're going to go through each group one at a time, and we're going to look at the reaction. Let me start with the left, the one on the left, right there. The first group is Bartholomew, James Minor, and Andrew. Let's take note of reactions and gestures. Bartholomew leans forward in surprise. His hands are on the table as if ready to act. Remember, they just heard this. They've been spending 3 years with Jesus. And he just told them, one of you is going to betray me tonight. And they were like, what? James the Less raises both hands in stunned disbelief and looks towards Jesus. Andrew holds his hand in a gesture of protest or alarm, signaling the universal, not I, look to him. Together they show shock, disbelief, and questioning. The second group. This is Judas, Simon Peter, and John. Let's note their reactions and their gestures. Judas is shadowed, leaning back and clutching a small money bag, a reference to the 30 pieces of silver that Judas betrayed that's found in Matthew 26, 14, 16. He is dressed in darker earthly colors, showing a contrast to Jesus' bright colors of red and blue. He is knocking over a jar of salt right there. You can't see it so much in the other one, but it's there. And that is also a symbolic of a betrayal. So he is reaching for the same bread that Jesus is with his hand, And it says, in a reference to Scripture, he who has dipped his hand in the dish with me will betray me. He recoils slightly and is painted in less light than the others, while Peter leans forward angrily, holding a knife behind his back. In this over here, you can see it. You can't see it on that one. He's got a knife in his hand. And that is a reference to the later violence when Jesus is captured in John 18, and Peter strikes the high priest's servant with a knife and cuts off his ear in protest and in defense of Jesus. John, the youngest, appears faint or sorrowful. His head and his eyes are lowered, bowed, with his hand folded, showing deep sadness and grief. That's John. John is leaning away from Jesus, and it creates a V shape. Can you go back to the big one? Yeah, that one. Oh, yeah. See that? It creates a V shape here. And as he's leaning. And it's a reference to the divine feminine, it's said, when I looked it up and stuff. And it also represents a triangle, or the Holy Trinity type of a thing. Judas sits on the same table, side of the table, whereas in some other paintings he's put aside of the table. But his darker face and the money bag all mark him subtly as the betrayer. And of course, no conversation would be complete with this group without mentioning the obvious different-looking man that is said to be John there in that picture. And you are undoubtedly aware that there has been much speculation that this is a woman, specifically Mary Magdalene. The question came up on the tour, and the tour guide was not a believer. No surprise, they're Italians. Instead, he told us that John was the youngest of the group, possibly like 17 years old. And so it was customary in those times to paint young men without beards and rather feminine looking to express their youthfulness. And nevertheless, it's hard to deny that it looks very feminine. And in the other pictures as well, in the other paintings, it looks very, very feminine. But on a personal note, I like the idea of Mary being part of the picture, myself personally. However, I find it difficult to believe that of all the disciples, John, who represents love and is seated at the right hand of Jesus, he's the closest one to him, would be the one left out of the painting. Why not Bartholomew or Thaddeus? Who are those guys anyway? Who invited them to the party? Now, I kid you, B&T, don't get mad at me. In any case, we'll probably never know, and we'll leave it at that. The third group is Thomas, James Major, and Philip, the jesters. Thomas is raising a finger in the air, in questioning, accusatory or protesting a gesture that he has, kind of demanding an explanation. And as you know, the finger of Thomas comes into play later after the resurrection, because he says, unless I see and place my finger into the mark of the wounds of the nails in John. So Leonardo does not miss the opportunity to make the finger of Thomas a focal point of interest. James the Greater spreads his arms in disbelief, astonishment, and horror. He also appears to be shielding Jesus. Philip stands asking for clarification or appealing, confirming hands to his gesture, saying, "Is it I, Lord?" Where it says so in Matthew, "Is it I, Lord?" The positioning of the group is that the trio's gestures are direct and forward, emphasizing active questioning. The fourth group, this is Matthew, Judas Thaddeus, and Simon the Zealot. Simon was the oldest of the group. And the reactions of this group is that they're all turning to each other. They're having a conversation amongst themselves. And Matthew and Thaddeus seem to be looking to Simon, the oldest one, saying, "What's going on?" And he seems to be having hands out like, "Calm down, settle down. You know, we'll figure this out thing or something," because he's the oldest guy. He's the most stable of all of them. So all these emotions are running through. Leonardo uses hand gestures and facial expressions as the primary language of the entire scene. That brings us to the center of focus, Jesus. He is seated in the middle of the long table, framed by architectural perspective lines that converge at his head. It's called the vanishing point. I had to look it up. In a painting, it's where everything leads you to. So his head becomes the vanishing point of this, and it's framed by the windows and everything around him. He is clothed in blue and red. Blue is heaven, and red to represent the earth, our divine and spiritual natures. And again, the dominant theme throughout everything is balance, the theme of uniting heaven and earth. Now, notice on his right hand, which is the red side, the earthly side of him, he is reaching out towards the bread, connecting us to our material needs on the earth. On the left hand, he's reaching out, the blue side, he's facing, the hand is facing up, reaching for the wine, which represents the blood, the life source, spirit in our nature. So the balance of the material and the divine is very clear throughout the entire composition. The bread and the wine are also a reference to the Passover meal, which they were celebrating, as well as the Eucharistic ritual that, in retrospect, evolved from that moment. This is my body, this is my blood. Now, I say in retrospect because that whole idea Judy brought up, substitutionary atonement view that the church has, that developed much later on. It wasn't at the time of when it took place. So the placing of his hands and his body create an overall triangular effect, emphasizing the Trinity, our Trinity. Jesus is calm, resigned, composed. His hands are open, a subtle controlled gesture that contrasts to the apostles' agitation. He is the stillness in the whole thing, where they're all agitated. So he creates this halo type effect with the painting in the back. So in general, the grouping is in threes, the contrast between the calm and the stability of Jesus and the fractured, animated gestures of the apostle is a deliberate psychological device to show divine composure versus human turmoil. Color and light. He uses variations of light to emphasize things. The symbolic objects, the money bag, the knife that Peter has, the bread and the wine, the overturned salt jar. All of these carry symbolic meanings that tie it to Scripture. The architecture, the angles are of the coffered ceiling and tapestries lead to Jesus' head. And the three windows make that triangle over and over. That's the emphasis of the triad. The psychological realism, he chooses a split moment, Leonardo does, to offer that revelation, an instant of human reaction rather than a static, reverent moment. So the painting reads like a frozen piece of theater, showing the various human responses to the traumatic news. While what makes Leonardo's interpretation so powerful is how he captures not the act, but the reaction that came the split second after Jesus said to his disciples, "Tonight, one of you will betray me." And so it is. Last Supper.
I thank you for being so real and touching me, letting me see what a beautiful world this world is. And I thank you for all that's revealed while you're changing me, opening my time blinded eyes to see my glorious possibilities. Well, maybe it's true that some folks can't see just what's going on. They need the proof that a beautiful world this world is. Well, I thank you for showing the way and setting them free, opening their time blinded eyes to see a wonderful reality. Oh, and I pray for strength to keep seeing just like this, that I can say yes and move out the way and give my God its full sway. I thank you for being so real and changing me, opening my time blinded eyes to see my glorious possibilities. Oh, and I pray for strength to keep seeing just like this. Oh, that I can say yes and move out the way and give my God its full sway. And I thank you for being so real and changing me, opening my time blinded eyes to see my glorious possibilities.
Thank you, Cam. That was beautiful. Thank you, Dan. Now comes the time in our service where we offer our gifts and our tithes to our spiritual community so that we can continue to do the work of elevating the consciousness of this planet, which is what it really needs. And slowly, as we do have our services and have all these things, these thoughts that we do and create here, that is taking place. We're putting it out in the energy field. And so I invite you to take your tithes and your offerings in your hands, and together we say, divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love, and I trust God.
Everything I see, everything I do is blessed by your hand, God. I give it back to you. Everything I give, every thought that's true is magnified and kind, God. I give it back to you.
Join me in our offering dedication. We bless and dedicate these tithes and offerings as an expression of divine love, and we release them to manifest that love in our community and in our world. We bless the earth and all of its inhabitants. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. We behold the divine in all. Final announcements. Today's prayer chaplain is Donna Sue. Let's Get Metaphysical Wednesday at the park. If you would like to receive the videos, just let Rita know. Rita's back there, and she'll add you to the list. Congratulations to our Love in Action recipient, the lovely Miss Alice Gardner. Thank you for everybody who participated in the service today. By the way, I didn't mention that laughter is the best medicine. I think Carrie came up with the idea that if you have grandchildren, whatever you'd like to, I don't know who came up with that idea, but that's a great idea. You know, you'd like to feature your child or your grandchild or somebody. Yeah, or a pet, yeah. Making a silly face or something, that would be nice too. Yeah, but remember, it is going out in the public, so if you don't want people to see you, then don't do it, but it's up to you. So thank you, everybody who participated in the service today. Oh, is it because it's the British Open or the Open? Oh, well, it is. Okay. And I think that's all we have. So thank you once again for joining us today, and I hope you learned something about this. The Last Supper, I did not know all these references, and I thought it was interesting to share. So thanks for joining us, and let's end with our peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
The light that is shines as me. The love that is lives as me. The power that is flows as me. The presence that is moves as me. Wherever I am, the one is whole, radiant, complete. I am light. I am love. I am power. I am presence. I am. Have a blessed, blessed week.